and some would say arguably still the best entertainer in bodybuilding, IFBB Hall of Famer Vince the Terminator Taylor. Hall of Famer and one of the best physiques ever to grace the stage, the Sultan of Symmetry, Flex Wheeler. But we need somebody to pretty up this stage, and who better but a multi-Olympia champion, a lady that redefined ladies bodybuilding. She's an IFBB legend, the lovely Miss Linda Murray. A man who pushed Lee Haney to his limits for many, many years on the IFBB stage. And you talk about redefining conditioning. This man brought lines and conditioning and hardness where nobody had achieved it before. The Dragon Slayer, Rich Gaspari. Hall of Fame. How about a big round of applause for Lee Labrada. Samir Manute. You say about the incredible Lou Ferrigno. Six-time Olympia winner and ushered a new word into the bodybuilding vocabulary. The word grainy was never used before this man started winning Sandow's The Shadow, Dorian Yates. An eight-time Mr. Olympia actually ushered in his own vocabulary in the world of bodybuilding. Phrases like, yeah, buddy, were ushered around gyms and still are to this day. Arguably the best physique ever to grace an Olympia stage. Eight-time Mr. Olympia, the big nasty Ronnie Coleman. Wait. Ronnie-isms, you gotta love him. Another eight-time Mr. Olympia, a man who broke all grounds and the first man to break Arnold's record. They said it would never be done, but it was done by this great superstar, the incredible Lee Haney. What do you think, folks? How about this lineup? I'm not so sure we've ever had this many superstars on stage at one time. A great opportunity. Ladies first. Linda Murray. Welcome, Linda.
Yes, ladies first.
Yes, ladies first.
I like that.
Thanks for prettying up the panel. No offense, guys, but...
You know, we would go to the gym and train together. Rich was so intense. Don't get in his way. Don't mess with his weights. I'm working out and by myself. Nobody else in the gym. I'm hot, I'm tired. Like, no, I got to do something to get myself fired up. So I just started talking to myself. so, you know, I don't want to like sound like I was having a conversation, so I just started yelling out stuff. And I was picking up the weight, and it was heavy. So I was like, let me psych myself out. So I said, anyway, no, that ain't heavy, that's lightweight.
I was working out and doing martial arts, so, you know, like most little small guys, you know, we've got this image, you know, we want to try to be bigger, so I always walk around, you know, all puffed up and everything, and people are like, okay, here comes Flex again, you know, it just kind of stuck. So it was actually a derogatory comment, you know, and I just kind of switched it around a little bit.
We talked in your intro about redefining women's bodybuilding. We've seen a change in that over the years. Unfortunately, some of that not so much for the better, but I just want to get your views on women's bodybuilding direction and the difference between the way it was when you were winning Olympia titles and the way it is now.
Well, you know, I think that when you look at bodybuilding, today the women have more of a choice. I mean, they have choices. There's bikini and figure and fitness, and so the numbers, they definitely have decreased. So that's, compared to when I was competing, it was just bodybuilding. And I love the fact that we have physique and bikini, and women have the opportunity to make a decision on what they want to look like. So I think it's great.
You talking about competing against Dorian again?
Yeah.
You back? Oh no, I recall in Atlanta, Dorian asked me,
I asked him.
We're having a meal, and he says to me, Lee, you know his personality. Lee, you know, he's a little bit dry sometimes. What do you think we go at it again? I said, Dorian, if you lost your mind, I said, I am going fishing. forget, staying with you again. That was it. But I heard a lot about Dorian prior to the 91 Olympia. And all this talk, I hadn't seen it. But I heard about him, and golly, man, he said, this guy's big, he got size just like you do, and da-da-da. So anyway, and then when I saw him for the first time in person, man, he was a monster. Something that I'd never seen before. Because I felt, in the era in which I grew up in, and I was blessed to come along at a time that had a chance to stand on the stage with Robbie Robertson, Roy Callender, Frank Zane, Muhammad McCoway, and Sergio Olivier. Please, I did not compete against Sergio Olivier. Sergio was guest posing. I just happened to be there on the stage with him that night, which was an awesome privilege. So I had a chance to see and catch the tail end of a very, very rewarding and magical era. But when I was standing there with Dorian and looking at him and knowing that my whole vision was to develop a physique that was in line with a Arnold, or Robbie, a Lou, a Zane. That was my whole psyche when I went to work to train. And I felt I was that particular package. And I felt that as long as I represented that package with a polished presentation, that it would be hard to beat that, because that's what the industry was looking for during that era. When Dorian stepped on the stage, I said, oh my goodness, another one like me. And so I felt that I had to be at my very best in order to beat him. I knew that I was more seasoned when it came to my presentation than he was. So I had the ups on it as far as that. Then I also noted that wearing a 31-inch waist didn't hurt either. So at that particular time, I knew that beauty was in the eye of the beholder, which was the judges. I had no power over their decision at that particular time. I just knew I had to bring the best package that I possibly can to that event. And the chips would fall wherever they would. And if it was Dorian, then it was going to be him. If it was me, it was going to be me, but I knew it could have gone either other way. But I felt I had the ups on him because I was a little bit more experienced. But I didn't want to fight him again. That was enough fighting for Dorian.
Thank you, Lee. Dorian, your thoughts and recollections of going up against Lee Haney?
Lee Haney was Mr. Olympia when I first started training, so to go and compete against Lee Haney was incredible. And I actually had to, psychologically, I had to change my point of view, because Lee Haney was Mr. Olympia. He's like my hero, when I started training. And now I got to go and compete against the guy. So I had to change my point of view from, Lee Haney, my hero, Mr. Olympia, to being another athlete that I'm going to compete against. So that was, that was the first step. I remember at the contest, this is something that stuck in my mind because I kind of utilized this later on. I don't know if Lee's aware of this or if he's doing it on purpose or not, but anyway, it had an effect that we're in the pumping up room, we're pumping up and everything. Lee's pumping up, but he's got his tracksuit jacket on, and he's standing in front of me. I'm looking. He's got his back to me. He takes off that tracksuit jacket. I'm like, oh shit. that was impressive. And it was great because it was almost like I think it was the only time when we had a two-man kind of showdown. They usually bring out 3 at a time. It was just me and Lee Haney, at the end of the contest there, man on man. So it was a great honor to beat Lee in one of the rounds. And as Lee said, he was a seasoned professional. His posing routine, his presentation on stage and everything, he got that down. So I wasn't quite there at that point. So I was very happy to get second place.
Dorian, were you disappointed that Lee decided to retire that following year? Like, did you want the rematch? Did you want to beat the champ? Was that important to you?
Yeah, I was disappointed, but on the other hand, I absolutely understood his decision. He had got the 8 Mr. Olympias, he got the record. You got this young, hungry guy coming up and snapping at his heels. You know, so I understood the decision, but I did. We had breakfast in Atlanta one day, and come on.